Hello, guys. How you doing? Welcome to the Witness with an Identity. Today we're gonna talk about this guy, EDP445. He's a YouTuber, and he look like they caught him as a pedophile. Abba and Preach are talking about it, and you guys can. I'm gonna let you guys.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Scares here. Now our first story of today comes from the YouTuber known as EDP445. Okay, so EDP445 is a huge YouTuber. He has over 2 million subscribers. I'm sure many of you have actually watched his videos before. A lot of people looked up to him. They thought he was a really funny dude. But it turns out that he got exposed for probably one of the worst things I've ever seen from any YouTuber ever. So for those of you who don't know, over the past year, EDP has been exposed multiple times for allegedly inappropriately messaging minors, okay? There was more than 5 instances where people were saying that EDP was trying to get with an underage person, okay? Now, obviously, this is a very serious, and EDP himself even made videos responding to the act, and he made a ton of support on these videos.
Now, was that my voice in the voice clips? Yeah. Am I a pedophile? Fuck no. Gives me the fucking heebie-jeebies, my nigga, just thinking about that fucking shit. You feel me? Do I have a fucked up sense of humor? Fuck yeah. You know what I mean? I'm a crazy ass fucking...
So there's been many accusations made against EDP this year, and recently a YouTube group known as Predator Poachers has been completely blowing up, okay? Now these guys go after alleged predators, and what they try to do is they set up a decoy, and they have someone who looks very young to actually message this person and act like they're a 13-year-old girl or however old this girl is, and they try to get this person to text them and send them inappropriate pictures, pretty much trying to catch predators, okay? It's kind of like Chris Hansen's To Catch a Predator, and one of the hosts of the Predator Poachers, known as Chet Goldstein, has been doing this for a long time now. He goes after different predators, and they've even gotten a lot of predators charged with very serious offenses. So this group got a ton of messages from people telling them to look into EDP, okay? They were telling him, look into this guy. We're not sure if he's done anything wrong, but there are so many accusations against him. You guys need to look into him and see what the heck is going on here. And what they did is they set up a decoy, a 13-year-old girl, and EDP responded to this girl almost immediately after she messaged him on Instagram, okay? So they started talking on Instagram, and eventually this led to a text. They gave each other their phone numbers, and over time, throughout this conversation between EDP and the minor, he gets more and more explicit. He starts mentioning doing intimate things with her. To be honest, we can't even show you guys a lot of the messages here, but they have all the messages on their channel. Predator Poachers actually read almost a 2-hour-long transcript of all the messages that they sent back and forth between EDP and this decoy that was messaging him, okay? And when you look through these text conversations between him and this 13-year-old girl, you can see that multiple times throughout this conversation, he says that he is afraid of going to jail.
The times when he regrets it, he's usually regretting it because he's scared that he's going to go to jail or lose his channel, things like that. He's not really regretting it because of the age. You know, he sometimes he'll like vaguely mention that, but you'll see that he periodically mainly says that, like, I don't want to go to jail, like, what if you're the police, stuff like that.
So while EDP sent many of these messages of him trying to get intimate with this girl, he'd also sent even more outlandish messages to this girl where he says some pretty crazy things. And Predator Poacher shows here that he was apparently texting her saying that he wants to climb through the window into her house to make out with her, and he also says that he wants to lock her up in his dungeon. So towards the end of their text conversation, this 13-year-old girl decoy actually texted him telling him to come over to her place, and they were actually meant to meet up somewhere right outside an apartment complex, okay? And EDP actually does show up to this apartment complex here, and Predator Poachers even posted a 50-minute long video of their whole interaction after EDP tried to meet up with this girl. And you could tell he's extremely nervous here because he knows how serious this situation is. Now, EDP claimed here that he was just trying to get a cupcake, but he very quickly admits to a lot of the messages and conversations that he had with this 13-year-old girl, and he actually admits to a lot of things in this video.
So again, what made you start this conversation with this said 13-year-old? You said what you're doing right here, correct? Yes or no?
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, she messaged me, right? And I'm not going to lie to you, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, a person feels lonely and stuff, and they want the interaction.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Are these guys cops? I don't think these guys.
No, they're not. No, they're not. The thing that happened, and I saw the video. I actually saw the video. The guy with the beard, the redhead, and the other guy, it's like they come in and it's like, yo, we got some questions for you, and we know you were meeting a 13-year-old, and if you don't talk to us, we're gonna put all this whole thing to the authorities. That's how they do. And when you watch the video of the interview, the guys are, catching predators, so it's good. Like, they're catching predators. That's a good thing about the video. But when I sensed a bit of clout was the question and how he's asking the question. There's a lot of pettiness in the questions. There's a lot of there's a lot of jokes that they're making, like sarcastic jokes that they're making about this thing just to make him look and feel bad. Listen, you're not the cops. He's not going to feel bad. He's going to make you feel bad. Yes, you're going to put this on your channel, but that's all there is to it. Or you talk to us, or we're going to give all this information to the authorities. And that's how he gets to have a whole conversation with them. But the conversation is really off. It's really off. They're going in circle. At some point, he's just like, all right, I'm done with this. And he starts to leave. And he's like, no. And they run after him with more questions that are super weird. Like, this guy.
Yeah. Okay. So this is why I'm not a big fan of vigilantism. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this whole thing that they've done is not admissible in court. They can't use this to put somebody behind bars. And so on one hand, you can somehow feel glad, and you might feel a sense of relief because you're like, this person got caught. But all that really happened is they lost their platform. If this person's likely to offend and now they're just no longer be online, we won't know because of the fact that they won't be on the radar. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. And now he's just going to do it again, but off the radar.
Right. And so I think that's where I have an issue with it, because this is not something that you should cancel people for.
Hold on. What did you say? You said it's not something that we should cancel people for?
What we should be doing is putting them behind bars. This is a criminal act, right? Like, you don't cancel someone because they sell drugs or whatever. If they're selling fentanyl or whatever it is, get them behind bars. You know what I'm saying? Go through the proper channels, because now any opportunity potentially, I know the cops are saying they're going to look into this now, but any opportunity for a criminal investigation may be severely hampered by these people interfering and doing this for,
if you're trying to try him,
right, which should be everyone's goal, in my opinion.
If there's what you heard in the news is interfering with that, you can't try him.
And that was also a problem with To Catch a Predator. A lot of the people who were on To Catch a Predator ended up going to jail because of the way the investigations were ran and the setups. They weren't admissible in court. And so when I see these shows, I might be like, well, we got one, because everybody wants to protect kids. I think that's a valiant cause. Yeah. But just because you want to do something doesn't mean you're doing something that's smart. You understand what I'm saying? I think it's good that this person's been exposed and that people know that he's a danger and a fantastic. But you also have to consider, not everyone watches YouTube, right? He comes back in a different name in a different city with all the money that he may have accumulated. There may be other opportunities for him. They can't do anything with this information.
Personally, I didn't know who EDP445 was.
Right. And so if he ends up in another neighborhood, that's it. That's just one of the worries that I have when I see this kind of vigilantism. So that's just my thoughts initially when I'm watching this.
Okay, so this isn't what happened, because she never said she was lonely right here, correct? Yes or no?
Correct.
Okay, and you did double text here, yes or no?
Correct.
And it said on her profile 13, yes?
Correct.
Okay, so you initiated a conversation with a 13-year-old knowing she was 13, yes or no?
Correct.
Okay, so is that a...
Why is he talking to this dude like he's law enforcement? It was so weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird in this video. There's a lot of it.
It's like, if he wanted to, the man could have just walked away at any point, and the dude couldn't have done anything.
But the way they are keeping him there is really by saying, if you don't talk to us on our cam, on our video, and have this conversation, we're bringing all this to the cops. They're scared.
Be glad that he was an idiot and he made these moves, but at the same time, it's like, anyone who has half a brain would not even stay in this kind of scenario.
Is that a good look for you?
No, it's not.
Okay, so you've been exposed for this before.
Correct.
What I don't understand, why are you attracted to 13-year-olds? Why are you attracted to underage? Because you clearly said...
What a stupid question. This is a very serious problem. And when people come at it why are you into this stuff? Listen, there are people like this all over the world. And vast majority of them don't choose this attraction that they have. Doesn't mean we should accept it. Doesn't mean we should abide it. They should get help. And if they offend, they should be put behind bars. Everyone agrees on these notions. But when you come here and you're asking why are you
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of weird shit that they were asking, and a lot of the way they were formulating the question was like, I don't know why I don't know what the purpose at this point is.
In one of the screenshots that you've always wanted to be with someone younger, like you like fantasize about being with someone younger, right, and you're scared of being a sting operation or a cops, right. Like, what goes through your head? What makes this okay for you? Because this is disgusting. It's real, man.
What goes on is loneliness, dude. I'll be completely honest with you, man.
But you have millions of followers.
Right.
Like, how are you lonely? You have like millions of followers.
Right there. You know what I mean?
So you
have millions. Like
this is so cringy. This is so cringy and unproductive in a weird way.
Yep.
I bet you there's chicks in your DMs trying to hit you up. Absolutely. And you're here for a 13-year-old.
And eventually these guys start talking about all the different minors and underage girls that EDP was allegedly messaging over the last few months.
So, again, what's a ballpark number of how many minors you talked to? Like, obviously it's been 5, so after 5, what would you say the number is? 6. 6? 6 minors. 6. Name them.
Now, shortly afterwards, EDP even admits here that he should be in jail.
The only thing deterring you, based on these messages, it wasn't the fact she was young, it was jail time that was deterring you, yes or no? Okay, so say there's no law, say we live in an anarchy, you would have followed through with this, yes or no, had you been able to, correct? Right. Okay, so before you give the like, I didn't want to do anything, you did want to do something. The intent was there. The only deterrence is jail. Like for me...
Well, the intent is right when you showed up here. That's intent.
Right.
You showed up, like, doesn't get any...
Right. Like if the cops saw these messages and saw you here, would they have arrested you? Yes or no?
Correct.
Okay. So look, see...
Do you think you deserve to go to jail? Because you admitted this is not your first time. This is up to like 6th time.
Right.
This is your 5th or 6th time.
Do I deserve to go to jail? If I'm being honest with you...
You don't think so?
I think so.
You think so?
Okay.
Do you want to go?
No.
So the conversation between predator poachers and EDP
like I can't take any of these answers seriously because like I don't know what people think. Do you think this is insightful? This is a person who obviously needs help, should be behind bars, whatever, right? And you have this conversation with somebody who clearly has like control over the situation. I'm going to expose you if you don't do what I want. So all these answers are really irrelevant because they're all from a weird place of like extreme fear. Yeah. I don't know. I watch this and maybe people think this kind of stuff is entertaining or insightful, but when I'm watching this, I'm just like, this is just awkward. It's like pointing a gun at someone's head and expecting complete honest answers as they're saying they're underneath the barrel. It's like, of course, I don't know.
So the conversation between predator poachers and EDP lasts for about another half hour, but towards the end here, these guys straight up say they were going to call the cops. And you can tell EDP starts to get visibly upset. He is so upset here because he knows what could happen to him if he gets charged with this. And while these guys are calling the cops, EDP actually walks away, calls his friend up saying that he's going to go to jail, and then gets in his car and drives away. So to be honest with you guys, this is the most serious story.
You want to hear something fucked up?
What?
If this man goes to jail, it might save his life. Because, once he gets on that jail workout program, nigga, he might just lose all that weight that's probably going to kill him anyways. I think they might do him a favor by sending this nigga to jail. Because judging by how those legs was buckling... No, judging by how those legs was buckling as this man was walking, high blood pressure and diabetes are probably going to kill this man ever before jail could.
No. If he goes to jail, he's going to get shanked. Molesters and shit like that, they don't have a good rep.
I mean, I think that's how things used to be, or they used to be far more prevalent. Nowadays, it depends on where you get sent. It's not the same as it used to be. Back in the day...
Okay, so you see, basically this guy, EDP445, where the topic gets interesting is that, I think what Abba and Preacher are saying is that they like the work that the how you call those people, the vigilantes are doing, but it's not professional, and what they are doing could be damaging, actually even more damaging, because the predators are watching what they are doing and they're going to find a way not to do it. Because here you got a guy, you find out that he's a predator, he's a child molester. You did not get him arrested. All you did, you got him banned on YouTube. That's not good enough because he can move to another city, another country because he has money. So that's what I think they are saying. So you got to be very careful. So that was interesting from them, but like I don't know what to tell you about this. This is it's an interesting case, very interesting. Like I think in case like that, it's to identify the person and right away call the law enforcement. That's it. Thank you.